Hello, crocheters. Welcome everyone to Mary Tejidos. I am Mary, and it is a pleasure for me to share a new tutorial with you. For today's class, we will be doing the detailed step-by-step of this beautiful bag. It's an open-work design that's trending right now. Look at all the details. We will be working with double crochet and single crochet, and I will also teach you the technique to make a well-structured base without mesh. We will also be making these beautiful tubular handles with slip stitch. See how it gives the bag an elegant and different touch. Here, I'll show you how spacious the bag is inside. Look, it's quite roomy. And if you're interested in adding a lining, in the video description, I'll leave you the detailed step-by-step process. It's an elegant, affordable, and very easy bag to make. I hope you'll stay with me until the end of the class, enjoy the process, and put it into practice. If so, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. Now, let's move on to the list of materials, followed by the step-by-step process. We will be working with the following materials. You can get these from the online store Tus and Sumos. In the video description, I will leave you the link to their shopping page. Measuring tape, a lighter, a personalized nameplate with the channel's name. This one is optional. Scissors, a 2-centimeter diameter carabiner, ring a magnetic clasp with holes for sewing, stitch markers, and a tassel cap. The main hook will be 4.5 millimeters. To weave in the ends, we'll use a 3.5 millimeter hook. I'll be working with 4 millimeter polyester cord. The thread is in a cream color, and here I have a 500-gram skein. In the video description, I'll leave the exact amount of material that I'll be using for this project. You'll also find the final weight of the bag and the final measurements of the bag there. And if you're interested in getting it, remember that I also left you the link to the Tus and Sumos online store. We make a slip knot. And we will crochet 6 chains. We have a loop on the hook. We yarn over and pull through 1 loop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We make an additional chain, and this will be our turning chain for a total of 7 chains. And they measure 5 centimeters long. We turn the chain and we will work on the back. Here where the bumps are. Here. We insert the hook under the second back bump because the first one is the turning chain. We go underneath. We yarn over. We pull up a loop to the height of the loop on the hook, yarn over, and pull through both. Here we've made our first single crochet. We insert the hook under the next little ridge, yarn over. We pull up a loop, yarn over again, and complete the stitch. We repeat the process under the next little ridge, making a single crochet. Here in the next one. I reach the last little ridge. We go underneath and make the last stitch here. We make a turning chain. And we finish the first round here with 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to start round number 2, and here we begin what will be the single crochets worked through both strands. Double, double, because we will be passing the hook under 2 strands to make a stitch. So we pass the needle. Notice that on this side, we have a complete chain, and on the back, we also have chains. We pass the hook through the center of the chain, taking the top strand, and we also locate the chain that is directly across from it, on the back. We go through the center and take the top strand. Here we will make a stitch. We move on to the next chain. We locate the strand that is right at the back, which is in the center of the chain. And here we will make the next stitch. This way, we will work the stitches until we reach the last chain. We insert the hook into the center of the chain and into the one in front. Here, you can take the opportunity to weave in the tail. The leftover, place it here in the center. Pass it over here on this side, yarn over, and pull through both. Pull it up to the height of the loop on the hook, yarn over, and complete the stitch. See, it's the same single crochet, but taking 2 strands. We go through the center of the next chain and the one that's right in front of it. Pull up the loop and complete the stitch. We make the next one. We make the last stitch here. Look where you can see the chain on this side. And here, this would be the last chain. We go through the center. And here, in the one that's in front. We yarn over, pull through both. Pull up the loop and complete the stitch. Next, we make a chain stitch. We finish the second round here. Look at how the stitches look. Here on the back side. Now we start round 3. We can see that from round 3 on this side, here on the back, we won't have any more chains. Instead, we have this first strand, and on the back, these little ridges. We will only be picking up the strands. Look here. Here is the first strand, and here is the back bump. We're just going to take the strand. On this side, we'll always have chains. And we're going to be passing through the center of the chain, taking the strand that's in the back. Here, just the strand. Notice that here, we're not making any kind of increase. We're working on a base of 6 stitches. We insert the hook into the center of the second chain and into the loop that's at the back. We have 2 loops on the hook, plus the loop that's always left to close the stitch. We go through the center of the chain, and we take the back strand. Here in the last chain, this one will always be hidden. Look, here is the little bump. They roll a little bit. And here you will notice the chain stitch. On this side, right in front, there's the strand. Look, here's the strand. And on this side, the chain stitch. Make the last stitch right there. Here, in the chain space. We finished the third round. Here, we can already start adjusting it. Whenever you finish, straighten out the round. Now we start the fourth round. And look, the process is very simple. Insert the hook into the center of the second chain. And take the strand that's in the back. Look, it's the first one. Make the last stitch here. See how it always hides? Center of the chain stitch. And under the strand that's right behind, finish the stitch. Chain 1. Straighten out the round. And here we have finished the fourth round. This is the whole process that we are going to do at the base. Here, we will keep going up until we reach the desired height. I will continue working, and I'll show you how many rounds, and up to what height I'm going to reach. I've already completed the height of the base. Look at how the stitches look. It's a base with a very good structure. The stitches are nice and tight, all the same size. Here, I did a total of 42 rounds. I'll show you how to identify them. You're going to position yourself here on the first ridge. Each ridge is 1 round. Count the ridges on this side. Turn the piece over and continue counting. Here, we're going to do it by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42 rounds. If you want to make the base a little longer, keep working the rounds, following the same pattern until you reach the desired length. And if you want to make the base a little wider, here at the beginning, in the chains, you will increase by twos until you reach the desired width. So far, we have a base. It is 22 centimeters long and 5 centimeters wide. We will make an edge with single crochet all around the base. To give it a better finish, we position ourselves at the last stitch, and we make a chain stitch. At this point, we place a marker to know that this is where the round begins. We are going to work in this same spot, 1 additional stitch, because on each corner of this side, we are going to make the increases. So here in this same space where we made the stitch, we are going to make another stitch here. We pass the hook through, yarn over, and make a single crochet. Now we are going to work single crochet on this side, and here I will show you where you are going to do it. We are going to position ourselves here where the little ridges are. Look, there's one here, here's another one, and here's another one. And under that little ridge, there are 2 strands. Look at them, right here where the 2 strands are. You're going to pass the hook under those 2, and there you'll make a single crochet. See, there's the little ridge, here's one strand, and here's another. Single crochet, you're going to make 1 stitch in each round, passing the hook under those 2 strands. We make a single crochet. Look, here's the little ridge, and here are the 2 strands. We go under both of them. We're going to make the last stitch here, and with this we complete 21 stitches on this side, counting from the first one. We're not going to count the stitch where the increase is, here at the marker, but from the first stitch on this side. Here we should have 21 stitches, including this last one. Now we're going to make the stitches on this side, and here in the first stitch we need to do a triple increase, which means 3 stitches in the same stitch. Here we place the first stitch. Look, on this side we have 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to work an increase in the first stitch and an increase in the last stitch, leaving 4 single crochets in between. We start here with the first one, which goes into this strand, but so the stitch doesn't end up floating, we're going to insert the hook under the strand here. In this space here. Here. And here, the last one. And we go into the stitch in the block and pass the hook through there. We pass it and we yarn over and make the first stitch of the increase. 1, we pass the hook through again. 2. 3. Here we need to make 4 simple stitches. 1. 2. 3. Look, here is the 4th stitch. Here there's a space, and that's where we'll make the increase. We go underneath all of them. Look here where you can see it. We did 1. We go through again. 2. We go through again. And we complete the 3rd stitch here. Look at how the edges and the increase look on both sides. Now we're going to work single crochet all along the edge. And we'll do it here where the 2 strands are. Look, here's the little ridge. Right? We're going to do it here. On this side, this counts as 1 row. On top, we make a single crochet. Look, here is the little bump. And in front are the 2 loops. On this side, the 2 loops were after the little bump. And here, the 2 loops are before the little bump. Look here where the little bump is. And in front. Look here. There are the 2 loops. The little bump. And here are the 2 loops. We do the next one here. These here will always be tighter, but be very careful. Work the stitches there. I'm finishing the round now. With these 2, I complete this side, the 21 single crochets. You can count after the increase. Look here where the increase is. We count the first stitch we made, here at the top. It would be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Insert the hook. Under the 2 loops. In front of the little bump. Make a single crochet. Here in the next one. Here we've already reached the corner stitch. And look, we have this opening here. We're going to close it like this. We're going to pass the hook through the strand that's here on the outside. Here it is. And underneath the whole chain. First, we go through here. and then here. And first, we go through here and then under the chain. In case you make the base and this opening remains, here in the back, you first go under the chain and then under the strand. First under the chain and then under the strand. So you go here, under the strand, and under the first chain. Remember that in this first chain, you need to make an increase. We bring it up to the level of the loop on the hook and make the first stitch. We pass the hook through again. We make the second stitch here, pass through again, and complete the third stitch. Look how the corner turns out of the base. Now here, we need to make 4 single crochet stitches. First, we pass under the strand. And after the chain stitch, we make a single crochet. I finished the 4 free stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the last one. Here where the marker is. We remove it. And here in this corner, we make a chain stitch and a stitch in the same spot. Keep in mind, there are 3 stitches in the increase. We're going to pass the hook under the chain stitch and also under the strand. We go under the strand and under the chain stitch. We make a stitch. We hold the first stitch, and with this, we complete the second one. To complete the third stitch, we're going to close it off. We lift up this little loop. We pass the hook under the first full chain stitch. It's not the loose chain, but the complete chain that's on top of the single crochet. We pass the hook from back to front. We place the reserved loop on the hook, and we move it to the back. And we tighten it well. And look here where we have completed the 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. We finished the edge of the base. Look at how the stitches look. Here we worked a total of 62 stitches. We make a triple increase at each corner of the base. Here, before the increases on this side, we make 4 and 4 stitches. And here along the entire edge, we work 21 stitches. And for 21 stitches, please check to make sure you don't have any extra or missing stitches. It ended up being 23 centimeters wide, 6.5 centimeters. Let's work on the body of the bag. We're going to make this with center double crochet. Take the base with the right side facing you. We use the last round here as a guide. Look, it's where the single crochets are, in a little heart shape. And if we turn it, we can see that on the back of the stitch there are little ridges. This is the left side of the base. This should go to the back. So we position ourselves here at the stitch where we finished the previous round, and under the strand. We lift it up a little, and here we can see the single crochet. In that stitch, we are going to make the first stitch of the next round. We pass the hook between those 2 strands. Look here, this is the center of the stitch. Making sure it comes out between the 2 strands in the back. Here, we're going to start by making a mock double crochet. We pass the hook through the center of the stitch, and here, this one is going to be pretty tight. Pull up a new loop. Bring it forward. Look, here you have the strand that's in the back and the one we've brought forward. You're going to pass the hook from front to back. In the first strand and in the second, which is the last one we've made, that's how it should look. Turn here, yarn over, and go through both. Chain 1. This would be the first stitch, and this is a mock double crochet. Yarn over, and we're going to insert the hook again into the space where we made this stitch. Raise it up halfway, yarn over, and go through the first two. Raise it up to the level of the little loop that's on the hook, yarn over, and go through both. Here in this first chain, we're going to place a marker. So we know that we need to close the first one. Okay, here. We already have the first tall increase stitch here. Look, here's the next stitch. We are not going to work in this one. We count 1 and 2, and we work in the second one. We make a chain stitch here. This chain stitch will compensate for the stitch we are not going to work. Remember to always make it when you are going to work the next stitch. We've already counted 1 and 2 we yarn over and insert the hook into the center of the single crochet. Look, here's the next one. Go through the center of the stitch, between these two strands. Make sure it comes out here. In between the two strands at the back, under the little bump, pass the hook through, grab the yarn. Pull it up to halfway up the stitch. Grab the yarn again and pull it through these first two loops. Lift it up to the level of the loop that's on the hook, grab new yarn, and here you finish the stitch. Yarn over the hook, and in that same spot, make the second double crochet. Music. We move to the next stitch. Count 1 and 2 and make a chain stitch. Notice that this chain compensates for the space of the stitch where we are not going to work. Yarn over the hook and go through the second one, skip this one, go through this one. Double crochet halfway, pull through, bring it up to height, and finish the stitch. Yarn over the hook. The 2 double crochets go together here. We go through that same stitch again. We are making 2 double crochets in a single stitch. And it's a centered stitch. Look, these are 2 centered double crochets. We skip a stitch and make a chain stitch. We yarn over the hook, count 1 and 2, and insert the hook into the center of the stitch. We yarn over. We pull up to the middle and close. We yarn over, close again. We yarn over the hook and insert it again through the center of that stitch. Make a chain stitch. We yarn over the hook, and we count 1 and 2. We pass it through the center. We make the first stitch. We yarn over. And we make the second stitch in the same stitch. We reach the corner, we make a chain stitch. We yarn over and count 1, and in the second stitch, we make the increase. Make a chain stitch. We continue working the double crochets. We skip 1 stitch, work into the next. We skip 1 stitch, work into the next. Following the sequence all along the edge until we get here to the last stitches. We're already finishing the round. Here we make a chain stitch. We yarn over, and we count 1 and 2. Look, here is 1 and 2. We go through the center. We make a half double crochet. We yarn over again, and we go through the same stitch. We complete the 2 stitches in the same stitch here. We make a chain stitch. We yarn over. We count 1 and 2. Make a chain stitch. We make the last stitch here. We skip this stitch. We work into the next one. And look, we have 1 stitch left unworked here, so this one stays unworked. And in the next one, we already did the first stitch. Now make a chain stitch. And we're going to close this first round. We're going to do it here where the marker is. We remove it. Look, we place the marker on the loop of the second double crochet. We're not going to touch this mock double crochet. This one stays as the body of the last stitch. Pull up this loop. We go under this entire chain. It's complete because we have the chain, which forms the top of the stitch. And below we have the body of the stitch. Here we only have the body of the stitch and the little cap. The little cap will form when we make the closure. We place the reserved loop, and we move it to the back. Look, when you close it, and we have formed at this last stitch a complete stitch. We have the body, which was the false double crochet, and the little hat, which is formed when you close it. We finish like this with this one. The first round going up with center double crochet. Look at how the stitches look. Here we worked a total of 31 double crochets. Now we're going to start the second round, and this time we won't do it in the center of the stitch, but between the 2 stitches. Here in these spaces is where we're going to make the double crochets. Here, here. Here, here. Here. We make the first stitch, and this is a false double crochet, so pay close attention to how I'm going to do it. Here, I adjust the strand a little bit. I leave this one about halfway, right here. I go through this space. I take the strand. I bring 1 loop forward, and look, I have 1 loop in front and 1 loop in the back. I pull this one out and set it aside. I insert the hook through the loop that's in the back, and through the one that's in the front. I slightly adjust the size here. Look how it turns out. I yarn over, pull through both. I pull it up a little and finish the stitch. Here, I've made my first false double crochet. I yarn over and go into that same space. I go through the first 2, pull up, and finish the stitch. In this first chain, let's place the marker. I chain 1. I yarn over, and in the spaces, I make the double crochet. Chain 1. I move to the next space. 1. 2. Chain 1. I move to the next space. Chain 1. And this is the whole process we're going to do. I'm going to keep working. Double crochet in each space, all along the edge until you get here. To this last space, here comes the last stitch. Here we make a chain stitch. We yarn over the hook and go into that space. We make the first double crochet. We complete the second one here. Look, we're already finishing the round correctly here. We make a chain stitch. And we're going to close it. We bring this loop up. We remove the marker. We pass the hook under that first chain. We place the reserved loop on the hook. And we move it to the back. Here, we have finished the second round. Look at how the stitch pattern turns out. How the base looks. On the inside, look how it's already starting to take shape upwards every time you finish a round. Keep organizing the stitches, arranging them like this. Let's start round number 3. And it's the same process we did in the previous round, and the one we're going to do in all the following rounds. You will always do it under the strand you brought to the back, in this space. Tighten this little loop a bit. Note, I haven't removed the hook from the loop. We're going to pass the hook through that space. Yarn over. Give it some height. Here you have one strand in front and the other in the back. The E. Tilt the hook. Yarn over and pull through the 2. Give it a little height and close the stitch. Yarn over. Insert the hook into that space again. And we complete the second stitch. Look, here we have 2 loops on the hook. We yarn over and pull through. Here, we place the marker in this chain. We chain 1. We yarn over and work 2 stitches in each space. I'm going to continue working the rounds this way until I reach the desired height. Here, I finish round number 3. I start round number 4 following the same process. Round number 5, until you reach the desired height. I'm going to keep working, and I'll show you now how many rounds I'm going to do. I've reached the full height of the bag. Look how the stitch pattern turns out. It has a really beautiful openwork pattern. The stitches all turned out the same size, with a really good structure. Here I worked a total of 13 rounds. I'll show you how to identify them. We start here. In the first round, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is to give the edge a better finish. We'll do a few rounds with single crochet. We're here at the last stitch. We make a chain stitch. We raise this loop, and we will close it here. Here we count 1, 2, and 3 in the third chain. We pass the hook from back to front. Look, it's the chain that's right on top of the second stitch. We take the loop we set aside, and we move it to the back. Look, it's the same join we've done in every round. Here we start with a single crochet. We tighten this little loop, and we insert the hook under the strand that we brought to the back, right here in this space. Place the loop we set aside onto the hook. We slightly adjust the stitch here. We yarn over. We go through these two and make the stitch here. Here, the hook passes between the two double crochet stitches. I always keep the height level with the loop on the hook. I yarn over and close the stitch. Here in this space. In between the two stitches, under the chain. Here in the space. Let's make the last stitch. We finish off this round. We go under the first chain. We place the reserved loop. And we take it to the back. And we adjust. And we finish the first round with a single crochet. Here we should have made a total of 62 stitches. The same number of stitches we finished the edge of the base with. So now here we start round number 2. And we're going to do this one with center single crochet, which means we're going to insert the hook in the center of the stitch, here, in between these two strands. Here we place the stitch. We go between the two strands. We pass the hook through the spot where we took the strand to the back. We locate the center. We place the reserved loop on the needle, and here we adjust. Yarn over. We pull through all of them. Now we add some height and close the stitch. Here in the next stitch, we find the center between the two strands. Here they are a little tight. Here in the next one, in the center. This is how our stitches are centered. We are going to continue working one stitch in the center of each stitch all along the edge of the piece until we get here to the last stitch. I've reached the last stitch. Here, I make a centered single crochet. I close the round. Here, I'm going to make another round with centered single crochet. I go through the center of the stitch. I put the reserved loop on the hook. I I make the first stitch here. This would be the third round. We are going to work a centered stitch all along the edge of the bag. We are going to make the last stitch. We close this round. We bring this loop up a little. We go under the first chain. Look, this loop has 2 strands. We take it to the back. And now we're going to start the round with a slip stitch. We're going to do this by passing the hook between the 2 strands that we took to the back. We pass the hook from back to front. We turn. We place the loop on the hook. And here we adjust. We yarn over and pull through both. We add a bit of height. And we're going to insert the hook here in the center of the other chains. Here. We insert the hook in the center of the next chain. We yarn over. We pull up a loop. And here, we're going to slip the first loop through the loop we already had. Here, we've made our first slip stitch. We go through the center of the next chain. We yarn over. And we slip. Here, we're going to try not to tighten the slip stitches too much. Always keeping the height at the same level as the one on the hook. This way, your stitches will look like this. We are going to continue working a slip stitch in the center of each chain until you reach the last one. I reached the last chain. We go through the center, yarn over, and slip. Here, we're going to cut the yarn. We pull it out. And we're going to insert the needle under the last chain. We'll do it here on the side. We pick up the yarn. We move it back. Look, here we're going to make it look like the last chain. We insert the needle through the center of the last chain, from back to front, and also under the strand that's at the back. We yarn over. We take it to the back. Here we adjust the chain stitch carefully until it's the same size as the other stitches. Look here at how well it mimics the join. We're going to take this leftover strand and hide it under the stitches. Here, we'll be using the thinner needle to help us. This is how we're going to hide the other rounds in this project. This is how the round with slip stitch turned out. Look how beautiful the finish is. Let's crochet the handles of the bag. Here we'll be using 2, and these will be tubular. To start, leave a strand about 30 centimeters long. We make a slip knot, and we make 8 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are going to be closing the chains, passing the hook through the center of the first chain, from back to front, taking the first strand. Here. Here we're going to yarn over. We go through that one. And we slip it through the little loop we have on the hook. Here we've closed the circle. We're going to work a slip stitch by passing the hook from back to front through the center of each of the chains. Here. We yarn over and pull it through. Here, we're going to be working 8 slip stitches. And we're going to be working these up in a spiral. Here we make the last one. We start the next round. And here we can already see the chain. Look up here where the chain is. We insert the hook into the first strand. We will always be taking the first strand. From back to front. And we pull it through. Here is the next strand. Look, the circle has already closed up quite a bit here. And up here, we can see the chain stitches clearly. We're only taking the strand that's on top. As you keep working the rounds, that's how your handle will look. See how it looks tubular. A pretty dense stitch. Look how it turns out. This is where we're working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches. We go through here in the center, from the next chain, and we slip. I'm going to keep working the rounds this way until I reach a height of 30 centimeters. Now I'm setting the handle height. Look how beautiful the tubular shape turns out. It's a handle with a very good structure, quite sturdy. If you want to make it a little longer, you keep working the rounds until you reach the desired length. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to show you how we're going to close it. We skip one. We pass the hook under the second one. All of it, yarn over, and pull it through. We skip one. We work on the next one. And now on the last one, we count 1, and on the second we close. Here we cut the strand. We pull it out and pass it under the second little loop, here. Now we hide the yarn end underneath. We use the thinner needle to help us. I finished weaving in the ends. This is how the handle turned out. Here we arrange it nicely, and I'll give you the final length measurements. I finished with 30 centimeters in length and in width. It ended up being 2 centimeters. Now we're going to make another handle just like this one, with the same number of stitches. Here, I've already moved ahead with the process. I made the other handle. Look, it's just like the one we worked on together. It has the same measurements and the same number of stitches. Now we're going to attach the magnetic clasp. We take the bag and arrange it nicely here. We take the thicker part and place it in the center of the bag. Here, you will choose which of the two sides you want as the right side. And on the back, place the thick part of the magnet or the clasp. Place it under the little bumps. And make sure that you've placed the clasp right in the center. After centering the clasp very well, we're going to do a simple stitch, 3 times in the same spot until the clasp is nice and tight. I'm going to do this with nylon and a needle. This is 30 gauge. We pass the needle through the first space. Here, I'm going to start from the back so I can hide the thread a little bit. Let's make sure the nylon isn't too noticeable. We pass the needle inside the space. We pass it again, this time outside the space. We pass it back. Inside. There, it's nice and tight. Let's take the seam to the next space. We're going to repeat this process in the next 2 spaces. When we're done, we'll make a little knot and hide the threads. I finished attaching the clasp. On this side, you're going to repeat the same process. Center the piece and do a simple stitch in each space. When you finish, tie it off and hide the tail. And this is the result. Look how nice and snug the clasp is. We're going to be attaching the handles. Right here at this spot, in the center of the second round. I measure 6 centimeters on this side. On this side, we're also going to leave 6 centimeters. That means it's in chain number 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here. There are 14 chains left free here. And on number 15, we place the ring again. Let's make the tassel. I'm going to use a screwdriver, 4 chain links, the tassel cap, and here I cut 10 strands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they are 28 centimeters long. I also cut a little piece of t-shirt yarn. This will be to tie the center. Here we make 2 little knots. We pass it through the tassel cap, but before that, you can add a drop of silicone here to hold the cord better. And with the same screwdriver, tighten the screws. Now let's even out the ends. Now we'll lightly burn the ends so they don't fray. Good. We've finished burning the tips. Now let's put on the chain. Here, you choose the desired length. This is what the tassel looks like. It's beautiful. We've finished the entire process of making the bag. This would be the result. An elegant bag, quick and easy to make, and very affordable. I used 390 grams of cord for it. That's the weight without the hardware. Now, I'm going to give you the measurements. In height, 21.5 centimeters. In width, 28 centimeters. And if you're wondering, Mari, can I do this project with another type of material? Of course you can. You can adapt the process to the material you have available. It could be PIP cord, t-shirt yarn, macrame thread, or silk cord. What you need to keep in mind is that the measurements will vary depending on the thickness of the material you're working with. We've reached the end of the class. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for staying with me until now. I hope you've enjoyed the whole process and that you put it into practice. If that's the case, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a way of showing your appreciation. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so YouTube lets you know every time we upload a new tutorial video. See you in the next class. God bless you. Bye.